Johnson tries to get it back. Winter, an acrobatic kick that doesn't go anywhere in particular. Williams, duck the chutney, gets out a kick now. Toomey, if he can stop it before it gets to the line. One to beat, shrugs off the tackle, into the open goal. Oh, the umpire, where's that gone? It's gone straight across the ground. That's an unbelievable kick. He missed from point blank range. I think he had a cerebral meltdown.
Welcome to Football Park and round 4 of the Escort Cup. That was an Ian Day classic, that, a cerebral meltdown. David Toomey, if you want to know what that means, give Daisy a call during the week. I don't know whether it was whether it was a favourable comment or not, but ask him about it, he'll tell you. I can tell you that we've got the best game of the Escort Cup so far this year underway right now. Central District against Port Adelaide. Conditions are superb. Central District led by 26 points at quarter time. Port Adelaide are on the way back now, only trailing by 8 points. To take up the call, Ian Day.
Bolle sends him into attack up towards O'Brien. Bytheen in defence, whips out the handball to no one in particular. Here's a chance now. Hines smothered well. The Dogs a chance to clear. Thomas sets it up. The running player is Lee through the half-back line. Or Evett puts him out of business quickly. Robertson played well in the first quarter. The handball is not good. Gulisic had to go back. Arlen Kennedy sends the Magpies into attack up towards Lowby. In there is Smith as well, but the umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to Lowby. O'Brien wants it in a hurry. He's putting it up that way. Phillips is going to get a leap away. Phillips! Great march. One grab. Strong as an ox. Having a good game at centre half forward. But what's his kick going to do? The last time he took a good mark from about 35 metres out, his kick didn't equal the mark. Perhaps a little closer. 30 metres out. 7-7 to 6-5. The Dogs by 8 points. Phillips towards the golf course end. That's a better kick home. 2 points the difference.
Begin transmission.
Now, all-new twin-cam 16-valve Nissan Exa has arrived at the main dealer, Main North Nissan, 75 Main North Road, where Eustace used to be.
One of the best games at football that we've seen in the Escort Cup. 2 points in it now. Geneva. Van Donald boots it off the ground, but the ball will go back to Tim Geneva, and he'll get the free in the middle of the ground. Port have fought back tremendously well. They trailed by 26 points at quarter time. Anderson coming into the game, used the body. Graham. It came out from Pryor. Moles thumps it back towards centre half forward, getting across Lum. Couldn't quite make it. Chance back there for Krieg. Off he goes onto the right boot. Manamaker on a lead. It's too long for him. Curtis getting back for Port Adelaide. Flintoff, the stylish Flintoff, goes after it close to the line, but can't keep it in, and will be a throw-in in the right forward pocket. David Flintoff, one of the better Central District players tonight. Has been a pretty good effort by the Dogs, but Port Adelaide now at the 12-minute mark coming back strongly.
8 kicks, Flintoff, Manamaker against Lum. Manamaker hooks the ball out but can't get it on its way. Line ball, that one. Here's a chance for young Hocking. He couldn't get it clear either. Hutton. That's a better handball. Harvey. Port Adelaide have a chance to clear through the player who's played particularly well. Into trouble, out of trouble. Oh, Boyd run down. Great tackle there by Flintoff holding the ball. Boyd didn't really need it in that spot, but he didn't know that he was being tackled or about to be tackled, and he's given away the free kick to Flintoff. About 45 to 50 metres out. Doubt whether he can make the distance. In fact, it's going to be a tumble punt kick off the side of his boot. It wasn't a good effort at all. Hocking close to the line. With him is Harrison, and the ball out of play about 30 metres around. 7-7 plays 7-5. The Dogs lead.
Throw in that right forward pocket. It's Jeff Robertson, who absolutely destroyed Martin Leslie in the first quarter. But a pretty quiet one since then. Leslie was shifted away from him at one stage, but then Paul Stringer went off the ground, and Leslie's found himself back at centre half back. Craig Ebert goes short, pass is good, and the mark taken by Mark Tyler. Tyler just ahead of centre, a little undecided which way to go. Now puts it to the lead of Darren Smith. It won't quite reach him. Lowby in front has it fisted away. Geneva, well done. O'Brien Back to Borlase, but he's in trouble. Need a sit here, O'Brien. He's got one. Wobbles it into the pocket. Pryor getting back for the Dogs. And that's a timely mark in defence. Oh, he's gone short. Dangerous stuff, but it's okay. Russell Shields, who got a heavy knock just about 10 minutes ago. Lovely distributed kick. Trevor Rowe on the ground for the Dogs. Wasn't there in the first half. Goes long to Manamaker. Harvey did well. Tapped on by Van Dommel to Robertson. He screws back to goal, but not enough. A point only. The Dogs clear now by 3 points.
As David told you, the Dogs had a brilliant first quarter, kicking 5-4 to 1-2, but Port Adelaide managed to kick 4-3 to 1-2 in the second quarter. The Dogs kicking to perhaps the goal scoring end, favoured by a breeze, but Port Adelaide taking them right up to it in this quarter. This man must be very close to being best on the ground. Kick number 9. He's going to get 15 metres, or is he? No, it's the kick underway. Moulds takes the mark, and he's just the attack side of centre wing to put the Dogs into attack. He puts it up high to the lead of Manamaker, pushing and shoving one-handed, can't meet it. First there is Flintoff. He'll need support from there, can't get it out. Likewise, well done, Orts. Anderson now. Anderson on the left, goes out quickly. Boyd looking for the lead. Gets the lead from Tyler. Too far for that player, going further afield. Well taken, Pryor in defence. Oh no, he's given away a free kick for a push in the back, and the free kick will go to Hines, I think it is, on the outer side. Let's have a look. Borlase it is, and the umpire said that was a push in the back. Well, fairly timid. Port Adelaide off. Curtis now holding the ball. Oh, off go the Dogs. The umpire said he can play on. They go into attack towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance. Van Dommel dummied the handball. Hooked in towards full forward. All the Dogs, and Hocking with a chance. 30 metres out, right in front. And Curtis is still arguing with umpire Mike Abbott. Not happy at all. Didn't really see the incident. I was looking at the replay of the push on the outer side. But whatever it was, Curtis is certainly not happy. Hocking 35 metres out. Nice looking kick. It's a goal, his first. 8-8 to 7-5.
Give me an S, give me a P, give me an O-R-T, give me an S, give me an L, give me an O-V-E-R, Sports Lover.
Sports Lover stores give Adidas prices the boot. Adidas Rookie SL, $24.99. Adidas Wedge, $59.99 at Sports Lover. Adidas Pro, $84.99. Adidas Comet and Tremor, $49.99. And Sharon and Ross Faulkner footies, $49.99.
Give me Sports Lover, 10 stores.
Russell, no, it's Craig Lum, in fact. Harrison, caught. Strong tackle, Van Dommel. The Dogs in front by 9 points at the 17-minute mark of the third quarter. They need to build up a lead here. Van Dommel goes long, looking for Manamaker. Harvey should have, or Hocking had the chance at the back. Left it behind. Graham scoops it on. Robinson missed. Opportunity now for Leslie as he gets a handball wide to John Harvey. Fine game tonight. That sets even up. The tackle was from Manamaker. No free kick paid. Now Curtis breaks one tackle. Through the centre of the ground he goes. Towards half forward. Port Adelaide into attack, but they're held up on this occasion. A strong mark in defence by Scott Lee. 9 points in it. Great game of football. Tremendous atmosphere, as you always get at a Port Adelaide game. Ian Anderson on the ground for the Dogs. Had it and lost it. Boyd gets a handball, but he was being held by the leg. Yes, that's indication from umpire Abbott. And Greg Boyd will take the free kick at centre half back.
Puts the Magpies into attack up towards the half-forward line. Graham at the back tried to mark in opposition. Brown through, no, Tyler through. It's Graham with the footy. The Dogs into attack again. Out comes Manamaker. Beautifully put Philip Graham. And there's nothing in the world that Harvey could do to cut off that footy. Manamaker, as we said, a little inaccurate in that first quarter. Now has 2 goals, 4 would be 35 to 40 metres out. 8-8 plays 7-5. The Dogs' last use of the breeze must be worth 2 or 3 goals, judging by the way the scores have gone. Manamaker towards the lake end. Nice looking kick. It's going to be a little offline, however. Hits the alley. And it's 1 point only. 7-6 to 8-8. The Dogs lead.
Kevin Neal, the Dogs in front. They need more, though. 8-9 to 7-5. 18.5 minutes into the quarter. Kick to the other side, dropped by David Hutton. Can he recover? Had a great chance then. He should have taken that. And Port Adelaide just fumbling a little at the moment, but it's been a mighty effort by them after trailing by 26 points to claw themselves back into this game.
Young David Brown on the ground. Aerial ping pong by Greg Boyd there, and the umpire will ball it up once more. The bottom of the pack, it looked to be, let's have a look at Craig Lum. Curtis at centre half back. Gives Anderson the run on the ball. Let's have a look at his pace coming back from injury. He's still got plenty. Wobbles one to the half-forward line. Ginniver, cleverly O'Brien thought about a handball. Goes back Ginniver through the half-forward line. Out comes Smith. Can't quite get there. With him is Buckley. The bodies go in. The idea was brilliant. The pass wasn't spot on, and Smith couldn't quite get to it, and it's tumbled out of play.
Darren Smith, who had a marvellous second quarter, booted 3 goals in that term. One of the reasons why Port Adelaide got back into this game. The throw in. Chance at the back. It's all Port Adelaide. In trouble, O'Brien now. Ginniver. Anderson. His handball is going to be intercepted by Smith. Shields for the Magpies. Getting clear. Brown. Flanked by Harrison. The handball wasn't as good as it should have been. Harrison screws back in towards goal. Bytheen had a kick and it missed. Oh, it could be a goal.
What a goal. Not good defensive work by Port Adelaide, by the Dogs at all. I think there could have been some hands there. We'll have a look at it in replay. Harrison kicked it. Brown got it out. Now watch the Dog defence here. Could they have got their hands to it? Or just having a kick at it? Bytheen it was, and the ball trickles through for a valuable goal to the Magpies.
There's 4 points the difference now, and the Dogs may well rue that mistake. The kick towards half forward. They got a chance, but the umpire has sorted out a free. Hocking was heading off towards goal, but it's got to come back to Leslie. Short to Curtis, can't control it. Anderson to support him now. He's been kicking with his right leg for most of the night. Forced onto the left foot, and he obviously has got a problem with that left leg, Anderson. It finishes with Harrison. His target is Smith. Almost reached him. Ball lays. Needs help. Got it into the pocket. Back it comes, but Pryor intercepts. A soccer off the ground at centre half forward, almost taken by Brown. And then the pressure came and he couldn't get it clear. Greg Anderson obviously got a problem, Liam, with that left leg of his.
Not really confident with it, David, but still, it's early days yet. His first full game, and maybe he's just nursing whatever injury it was into the game. Boyd, a high kick up towards full forward at the back there. It's almost Tyler. Now Buckley. Smith can't get there. He wobbles a loose ball out to the half-back line. Scott Lee beats the tackle there of Tyler. Drives back towards centre wing. Well taken, Van Dommel. The running play now, Anderson. Oh, that's not a good handball, but got a good sit on it. Krieg goes in long. No, Gurdon goes in long. Line ball this one. Hocking can't get there, and the ball goes out of play in the full forward left pocket.
4 points the difference still as Big Lum meanders down for the throw-in. Flanked by Martin Leslie. Craig Ebert loitering at the back. Chance for the Dogs here. Robertson went up. Leslie got it. David Hutton almost fumbled that one again. The kick is wide to the open spaces. Who's going to be first? Pryor is there, but he's beaten by Boyd in the end. Boyd goes short. Half volleyed brilliantly by Tyler. Back to Boyd. Away go the Maggies. Smith on the lead. It's the lead, rather. It's a fraction too long. At the back, O'Brien. Oh, Graham had him when he didn't have the ball, but it went unnoticed. And now the umpire has sorted a free kick out, much to the disgust of the Port Adelaide fans. You'll find it'll go the way of Central Districts deep in the back pocket.
I get the impression that Michael O'Brien's not all that happy either, as he had a few words to say. Boyd, who's playing well, molds. Coolly the handball goes, but it's not going in the right direction. Ginniver there, the ball out of play. Port Adelaide fast and furious in this quarter, taking it right up to the Dogs. 8-9 to 8-5, the Dogs lead.
We've had about 2 minutes of time on, and Ebert be reasonably satisfied at three-quarter time if they can go in with just a 4-point deficit. Kick towards half forward. Robertson almost on the ground. Kennedy, but he's unloaded by Shields. Gives Flintoff the opportunity. Forced to kick hurriedly with the left foot. Ebert fumbled. McGrath does it. He takes it clear now. He can go all the way, McGrath. The kick is into the square, and it's offline for a point.
Monday night. Drop everything. It's time for
Hello, hello.
With Exploding Chickens, great songs, and the craziest cast ever on television. The riotous Hello, hello, 9:30 Monday on 7.
Close to three-quarter time in Sevens coverage of the Escort Cup from Footy Park. 8-10 to 8-5. The Magpies to go into attack again through Hutton. He's the attack side of centre wing at the moment. Drives in long up towards the half-forward line. Looking there for Phillips. Big leap unsuccessful. Port Adelaide with a chance through O'Brien. Gives it away to Harrison. Dummies the pass to Smith. No go, but Harrison walking goal. Beautifully done, Philip Harrison. Goal number 2. The Magpies doing it brilliantly. Have hit the front. 9-5 to 8-10 in the Escort Cup.
Oh, superb football this by Port Adelaide. You won't see any better football than this anywhere. A great tap-on started it from Phillips, and then this chain of handballs. Harrison, and unselfishly, Smith back to him. Harrison with his 7th kick, Bucci's 2nd goal, and the Magpies in front by a point.
Harrison playing well too. In fact, all the Magpies have lifted since quarter time. They go into attack again now up towards the half-forward line. Phillips the crumbs, but he can't quite get there. Thump towards the line. Siren sounds. Three-quarter time. And what a game of football we've seen. It's the Magpies by a point, 9-5 to 8-10. And David, since quarter time, it's been a rejuvenated Magpie. Where did it all start?
Well, their endeavour from quarter time has been much better. Their concentration on the ball and their attack at the ball has been a lot fiercer since that first quarter. I thought they were just a fraction soft and a fraction slow to get tuned mentally in that first quarter. And the Dogs got in front there by that 26 points. But since then, have been a great effort by Port Adelaide, and to lead by a point at three-quarter time could set up a win for them, Ian.
I agree, David. They've got everything going for them. They've got a fine platform. At three-quarter time, Footy Park at the Escort Cup. The Dogs 8-10 trail the Magpies 9-5. We'll be back in just a moment.
Want to get excited? Toyota's March Excitement Sale is on.
The deal on my Corolla, wow! So excited!
Until the end of March, Toyota dealers are giving away millions of dollars for the most exciting deals on any new Toyota.
I'm so excited!
Toyota dealers are go, go, go to sell 10,000 vehicles by the end of March. So trade-ins are up, up, up.
I got more for my trade than I paid.
I'm so excited!
But hurry, Toyota's Excitement Sale ends March 31st.
What a feeling, Toyota!
This is Henry. Best idea this company's ever had. Even if he did try to weld the chairman's tie. But of course, not all new ideas are good ones. Now they're talking about putting our wages directly into our accounts. I can see problems. We all like cash. And who wants to spend their lunch hours waiting in a bank queue? The cash pay system is working perfectly well. Henry's on the blink again. Cash. It's the only thing you can count on.
No doubt, the lowest everyday prices are at Coles New World. And WeArc research prove it in today's paper.
Plain Wrap Laundry Detergent Powder, 1.5 kilograms, everyday low price, just $1.50.
Proof that the lowest everyday prices are at Coles New World.
Buffett's, put the beat in your car. Radio, stereo's the best by far. So if you want the sound, just come on around to the one big location in the center of town. Check out the range, check out the prices. Buffett's are the specialists with super sound advice. Yes, Buffett's, put the beat in your car. Buffett's, put the heat and the beat in your car.
Burford's, the car radio specialist, 231 Pulteney Street.
Saturday, the true story of one of the greatest stars the world has ever seen.
You know just what to do.
Elvis, the movie.
We can go on together.
His life, his love.
And I'll pronounce you man and woman.
His loneliness.
They're my songs, they got no right.
The King lives on. Elvis, the movie, 1:15 Saturday on 7.
Welcome back to Football Park, and there is the authoritative hand of Russell Ebert, a man who is desperate for a premiership, and he may well get it this year. Port Adelaide looking pretty good. Very fine conditions for football tonight. At three-quarter time here, 22 degrees, winds from the southwest at 20 kilometres per hour. Isolated showers and the overnight minimum 15 degrees. Premiership table, very interesting in the Escort Cup. Woodville clear leaders, and you can see a group of teams there, Port, Central, West Glenelg and South in second position, separated only by percentage. Been a great game tonight. Central District got away very, very well in the first quarter to lead by 26 points, but Port Adelaide have come back ever since. And in fact, the situation now at three-quarter time is that Port Adelaide leads. Our investigative reporter, Graham Campbell, is on the ground. He's close to the action. Graham, the situation with Anderson. We've seen him kick with his right boot. What's that all about?
Well, firstly, Pete, it's magnificent down here. This is the best night by far that we've had so far in the Escort Cup. There's no breeze. No one should complain about scoring either end of the ground. Now, Greg Anderson, I've noticed most of the night he's been forced, well, maybe forced, to kick with his non-preferred kicking foot. In other words, his right foot. But whenever he's gone left, he's kicked at a country mile. I can't understand why the lad has kicked right foot more times than not. I really can't, Pete. I think he's had an ankle problem, but that doesn't really explain it, does it?
I just wonder, Graham, in this day of professional football, I imagine that his medical advice would be sound.
Yes.
Perhaps he's been told to take it very, very easy because he's got a big career in front of him.
Well, that's probably the safest way out, Pete, that he's been told to have a gallop tonight, just a sort of a training gallop and see how he goes. But he certainly put a lot of energy into his quarter, that particular, 22 minutes of football. He took a magnificent mark where he balanced it a la Greg Anderson from 1986. He's a great player. I love watching him play. His courage is magnificent. I love just seeing Greg Anderson perform. And tonight, he's just feeling his way, I feel, Port Adelaide supporters. He's not really stirred up to perform as he did last year to win the McGarry medal. But he's out there, and that's all Port want to see at this moment.
Graham, no Abernethy tonight, but I want to ask your opinion of Greg Phillips, centre-half forward. Now, is he still like a duck out of water, or is he starting to learn the position?
I think he's warming to the position, Pete. And one mark he took that last quarter, in that third quarter, was worth watching, I think. He stood his ground, he got hold of the ball in two hands and just held it there. And he's a man that motivates players around him, I believe, so I think he can make a fist of it. He's just taking time to come to terms with playing centre-half forward. We know he's a champion centre-half back. Champion centre-half forward? Maybe.
I get the feeling that Port Adelaide players running down the field know exactly what's going to happen when Greg Anderson gets near the ball. He either holds it in a space or it comes out.
He does, Pete. He's a man that knows what to do when he gets hold of the ball. And Port looked a lot better that quarter. Nonetheless, I'll go for Central by 1-10.
There it is again, 1-10 Central District. Last quarter, about to start. It is a very, very good game of football. It'll be an exciting last quarter to take up the call. David Darcy and Ian Day.
9-5 to 8-10 as the final quarter of this fourth round Escort Cup game gets underway. Second against third. The Dogs third, Port Adelaide second, both having won the same number of games. Graham whips out a long handball, misdirected. John Harvey, the tackle a little high, unsided. Lum gets the tap away, or it was Boyd, and finally it's kicked to the half-forward line. O'Brien, well done, gives a chance. Tyler puts in a long one. The umpire getting underneath it, but it's just the wrong side of the post, and 1 point only in Port Adelaide's first attacking move. 9-6, plays 8-10.
Oh, that's a brilliant move, that by Greg Phillips, and I'd have to agree with Graham Campbell that he is warming to that centre-half forward position. Got a lot better tonight. Scott Lee running it out of defence. You'll find Krieg at centre wing. Dogs can go forward. They need one early here if they're going to be a real threat. Harrison went over the top of Anderson. He's trying to keep it in play, but can't do so. So throw in on that outer side. They're trailing by 2 points at the moment. And Peter, a goal here is a must for the Dogs.
Yeah, it was a courageous tip by Graham Campbell. Central District have kicked 3 goals in the last 2 quarters. Port Adelaide have booted 8. That's 8-3, and Graham Campbell sees something in the Dogs' outfit that I don't. Boyd has got the ball. He's got it over to Harvey. He's played very well. Goes long to half forward. Phillips there. Good effort by Bytheen to get the hand on the ball, and he runs it out well to Philip Graham. Running down the field now through Pryor. Don't think they needed that handball. Anderson was thrown away. Graham got a quick one out. Anderson, you can't keep him out of a game. Here's a chance for Darren Smith. It's going to float past that player. Oh, it's going to roll close to the goal. No. Smith touched it, and out it goes.
Look, I just interrupt for a minute, Ian. Greg Anderson kicked that ball, and he's just limping horribly. I can't understand Port Adelaide.
Well, the boys got to know whether he's fit or not. Moulds, they've got to leave it up to the player, but I agree with you, David. He looks the worse for wear, and Graham Campbell thinks it's ankle. Well, he's certainly showing signs of it at the moment. Greg puts the Dogs into attack up towards the half-forward line. Anderson at the back, but in front the mark has been paid to Martin Leslie, and he'll take the kick almost at centre-half back, somewhere nearer the flank. Let's have a look at the mark again, or will we? As the kick goes towards the half-forward line, Pryor got up and down before he even started. He's given away a free kick. The wry grin goes on, and the free kick will be taken at centre wing by Port Adelaide, who drives to the half-forward line. Here he is again. No, that was Brown. Now Smith. Smith looking for backup support. He can't find it there. The tap goes out, or Tyler gave it to Phillips. Another walk-in goal. O'Brien, goal number 3.
Bushells Master Roast. Rich, full-flavoured, granulated coffee. Very satisfying. Love a cup of Bushells Master Roast.
Oh, they're irrepressible, Port Adelaide. They lead now by 9 points. They were really in trouble early in the game, and it's been a marvellous fight back. 9 points to lead. We're 3 minutes into the last quarter, and Port doing all the attacking. Russell Johnson, probably not quite as predominant as we've seen him in other games. Andrew Mole's done a good job, but that's an effective tap forward by Johnson. It was taken by Van Dommel and lost by him, but he's going to get a free. So the Dogs can go back into attack towards half-forward. Mandermaker coming out, but he won't quite get to where the action is. Leslie being paid, yes, at the second attempt. So Martin Leslie has recovered well after being horribly beaten early by Jeff Robertson. David Hutton having trouble. Got a few fumbles tonight since coming on. Russell Johnson can't quite get that one out. Bounce on the outer side. Port Adelaide in front. They lead by 9 points. 4 minutes gone in the last two.
Very good game of football, and Central District by no means out of it. If they can reproduce that flow that they had in the first quarter, anything could happen. The handball comes out to Kennedy. Now Hines. Hines kick away, not the best. Covered distance, if nothing else. O'Brien got it out. Kennedy, a quick one on. Brown's in there again. Was a good tackle there by Philip Graham. So we'll see a bounce down. Right half-forward flank for Port Adelaide. 4.5 minutes in. Hocking kicked quickly. Then he didn't need to. He had a bit of a space. O'Brien was tackled. Buckley dives on top of the ball. Desperate move. Brown also. But it's a Buckley free kick. He's had a tough night, particularly in the second quarter when Darren Smith booted 3 goals. Smith could have 5 or 6, by the way. He's missed a couple of easy ones. Buckley goes long by Russell Johnston by a mile. The only player who jumped for the ball, and he's the tallest man there. I think that Moles did well on him in the first half, Daisy, but he's coming into his own now.
I'd agree. Johnson's a very tough player to beat. Also, the Dogs starting to fall down across the half-forward line. Port Adelaide into attack. Smith can't quite get there. Through goes Bythune, who's been moved on to Smith by the looks of things, and the umpire will ball it up on the half-forward line of Port Adelaide. 10-7 to 8-10. Cowboy looking a little pensive. He's 9 points down, and as Peter said, it's about 3 goals to 9 in the last 3 quarters, or the last half of the game. Geneva, a high kick to the half-forward line. Players set themselves. Bythune goes for the spoil. Tyler, aerial ping-pong. In there goes Tyler again. Buckley gets it away. Boyd against Scott Lee. Shields, Boyd, well done. Gets it out now. Anderson shoots for goal, and it's a brilliant goal. Kick number 11, goal number 1. Port Adelaide 11-7 to the Dogs, 8-10.
Superb work in the first instance by Greg Boyd. Absolute desperation. There's no doubting his ability, and there's no doubting the ability of Greg Anderson. There's the fighting spirit of Greg Boyd. And look at the handball. Now this lad, young man from a standing start, boots a 50-metre goal. Tremendous effort, Port Adelaide. 11-7 now to the Dogs, 8-10.
15 points, the margin. Great game here from Football Park. Live on 7 Sport. Central District not out of it, but Port Adelaide looking good. Rowe snared it from the centre, used the left boot, up to half-forward. Oh, good mark there, McGrath. Good judgment. Mandermaker's on a lead. Eddie falls over. Harvey, as easy as you like, getting the ball. The handball wasn't too flash. McGrath goes through like a Sherman tag and gets the free kick. Oh, Martin Leslie is not happy. McGrath does a Lawrence Olivier for the fans. And let's have a look at this free kick. Through he goes. Now, I tend to agree with Leslie. Certainly, when we saw the tackle at the end of it, it was right, but it may have been high initially. The umpire is in the best spot. Big pack of players hocking up very high. Off hands, a point.
Been a top game of football. Russell Shields is off. The Dogs have made some moves. Rowe came on at half-time. Brendan Little's on the turf now as David Harvey kicks in, looking for the tall fingers there of Anderson. Beautifully taken. The further the game's gone, the better he's got. But as they said, or as David said earlier, he's limping. Alan Kennedy gets it away. O'Brien centre wing. Leslie running, all Port Adelaide running at the moment. Phillips wants it in long. That's the way the ball will go. Phillips against Buckley. Phillips in front. Three Dog players left. Couldn't find the footy. Lee in defence. With him is John Harvey, who likes coming up in that attacking division. The ball wobbles towards the line. Hines first there. The Shepherd goes in. Geneva can't find the footy. Lee there. With him is Geneva. And the umpire will call for a bounce on the half-forward right flank with Port Adelaide in attack.
Port Adelaide in attack and leading by 14 points, 8.5 minutes into the last term. Darren Smith, Geneva. Can he keep it in play? He succeeded in doing that, but he can't get it on again. Courage from Geneva. Got it over to Brown. Brown shoots in towards goal, and I think he's got it. Great goal.
Burt Lancaster, Kirk Douglas.
You're the best there ever was.
We are. When you're this good at being bad,
They don't make crooks like they used to.
you just keep on getting better.
I'm just doing what comes naturally.
Nasty voice. I don't mean a thing. You nasty boys.
Tough Guys.
Now showing at Greater Union, Hindley Cinemas and 2 suburban drive-ins.
The Magpies by 20 points. Oh, they'll erect a monument for Geneva after that performance. And what a great goal by Brown. There he is again. He goes in long. Oh, there's a push. Umpire didn't see it. Oh, the handball from Smith went straight to Hearn. He is in big trouble. He got it out long to Buckley and finally put over there to Scott Lee. Scott Lee finds Pryor and a breather. No breather. Play on is the call. And in goes Greg Phillips. And he has played very well, Greg Phillips. A chance now for Russell Johnston. He hooks it back. Not a very good kick, but Alan Kennedy will mark it. He's got a bit of a space. He appeared to play on then, but now he hooks it back towards Harrison. Couldn't mark the ball. Moulds gets rid of him very tidily. Buckley, short. Van Dommel. Started well, but has faded. Puts the long handball out. Chance now for the Dogs as they go in through Anderson. Hocking goes up from behind. Took a good mark in the first quarter. Haven't seen a lot of him since. Hutton. Half back. A mark low to the ground. No, the umpire indicated play on. No mark. Must have hit the ground first. Hutton went in very hard. Took the ball over the line, and we'll see a throw in with Port Adelaide leading by 20 points. 10.5 minutes into this last quarter.
And doing it well, Peter. Man to maker against Johnson at the throw-in. The Dogs' forward line is non-existent at the moment. Anderson tried to get a kick away, joined in there by Hocking, who does most of his work in the forward pocket, but no doubt with the experience he'll improve. Squirt back on the turf, puts in a long one up towards full forward. Harvey too strong. David Harvey at full back played a very cool game. Pinpoints that one to the half-back line, and Hutton, he's clear. McGrath can't raise the gallop into the half-forward line. Phillips against Bytheen. No, Buckley it is. Now Graham through the pack on the left leg, goes long. Should be a mark to Anderson, half-forward line. Quickly they play on Rowe. Flint off, and the Dogs have got a chance. They're down by 20 points, and they must get a goal here. Flintoff, one of their better players for the evening. Kick number 12 coming up. 12-7 to 8-11. Flintoff has kicked one, and the Dogs desperately need him now. Little or no breeze, as Graham Campbell has told you. The kick underway, that's Homie's second, and the Dogs are now down by 14 points.
Monday night, a routine heist goes horribly wrong, and the equalizer is called to help the victims.
These men who are after your husband will also come after you.
The Equalizer, 8:30 Monday on 7.
Escort Cup live on 7 Sport. David Flintoff, who just a few moments ago kicked that invaluable goal for the Dogs, has brought them now to within 14 points. 12 minutes into the quarter. Is this going to be a Dog revival? Moulds. Chance for Anderson. Couldn't get boot on it. Well, Van Dommel working hard to Krieg. Forward they go. Harvey out in front of Grulisic. Chance for Curtis. Brilliantly done to John Harvey. Probably best on the ground, Harvey, tonight, as he goes short and finds Greg Anderson at centre wing. The Dogs have made a switch. Mandamaker's gone to centre half forward and Grulisic to full forward as Anderson keeps it along grandstand side looking for Phillips. Fisted clear of him. Van Dommel's searching handball is to Anderson. Tried to seek Rowe. Greg Anderson now for Port Adelaide. Beautifully turns out of trouble. Bangs it back towards half forward. Graham in pursuit, coming across Michael O'Brien. It's Graham that wins out and then lost it in the finish. Pushed back in the direction of Brown. Brown needs help. Going to get it is Ginniver with him Buckley. Buckley's handball was smothered well and truly. Hines fights for it on the ground, and that's courageous work by the Port Adelaide attacking players there, as Graham was at first clear and then well controlled.
Excellent game of football. Moulds is there. He's played well for the Dogs. Brown again for Port Adelaide. Here's a chance for Smith. The big chap Bytheen put his hand up and he's going to clear it for the Dogs. Trevor Rowe. Not his normal game tonight. Van Dommel short, takes the mark. There's still a bit of bite left in this Bulldog side. Away goes Peter Krieg. He's a pacey player. Here's a chance for Grulisic if he can judge it better, but he can't. On the ground, Curtis, but the free kick will go to David Harvey for being held onto by Grulisic. David Harvey's played well. Port Adelaide have run it out of defence well tonight, and they are continuing to do so. Ginniver has played well. A good kick to John Harvey. I'd agree with David's assessment of his game. Extremely good. Greg Boyd goes long. Darren Smith in the pocket. Oh, good mark. Oh, good mark. Bytheen gave him one, and Smith gave him one right back and said that makes us square. There's number 1, and there's number 2. That's a bit like a Tyson uppercut, that first one. Darren Smith in the right forward pocket, difficult to score goals from there, pulls it right across. Hines over the top, out of bounds, a throw in.
Played well, as Peter said, could have had a couple more, and not bad in the fisticuffs. 12-7 to 9-11. Russell Johnson having a spell. At the throw-in, Phillips, Graham, Hines, beautiful smother there. Players pile up on the ball. Ginniver just about to escape with it, and the umpire wants a bounce. Umpires Stephen Semler and Michael Abbott. 15 minutes gone, final quarter. Hines got up. Harrison smothered again. Phillips gets it out. All the Dogs. Buckley lost it. Thumped it clear. Pryor. Anderson. Rowe off the half-back line. Oof, puts his teammate under pressure. He's lost the footy. Anderson gets it out. Here's a chance now. Boyd. Strong defensive work by Lee, and the ball is forced out of play again.
14 points still the difference. We've gone past 15 minutes. Great pressure. What a great game of footy it's been. Throw in Moulds, who's worked hard. Rowe, Little on the ground. Now Buckley. Can the Dogs get something going? They need a goal now. Krieg through centre wing, goes in short, he'll get Flintoff. In the middle of the ground, and they need to get it going quickly. Lum has dropped back for Port Adelaide. The lead was to the grandstand side, but he's gone out wide. Here's a chance for Mandamaker up in front, he's got it! Oh, Leslie gave him a few metres, Mandamaker got clear. And now the chance for the big fella to drag this lead back to 8 points it would be if he can goal. He's about 45 metres out. Hasn't kicked well tonight. 2-4 is his personal tally. And if ever they need a goal from Rudy Mandamaker, they need it now. Drop punt. He's going to get the distance okay. That's one of his better kicks. Great goal by Mandamaker. And the Dogs are back in it. The difference now is just 8 points. He's booted 3. 10-11 the Dogs. 12-7 Port.
Oh, brilliant play. Krieg is the guy that set them alight with his pace. That was a risky kick. but you can afford to take risks when you can kick so well. And Flintoff, as usual, finishes it off, and Manamaker is certainly giving them a chance. So the Dogs are 8 points behind an end day. That prediction of Graham Campbell, you never know.
Yes, he's still 8 points behind the 8 ball. Robertson about to come back onto the turf as the Dogs make their changes and make their bid. But John Harvey in brilliant form. Rebounds up to the half-forward line. Almost Phillips. Mark can't get there. Comes out with a footy. Gives a chance for Brown. In and out he goes. A heavy tackle there. Hines a chance. Gives it back to O'Brien. In the centres, Geneva. Smith there. With him by Thien. Smith! Man for man. Smith held his ground. Too strong for Bytheen. Kept his eyes on the footy. And he has brought the ball down about 12, 13 metres out right in front of goal. Has booted 3. All to the northern end in that third quarter. That makes it 4, and Port Adelaide get a breather. 13-7 the Magpies, 10-11 the Dogs.
That's a good mark by Darren Smith. They're under pressure, extreme pressure, as the Dogs are fighting back. And that's a telling blow now. Too much judgment for Bytheen there. Perhaps gave him just a little. Not enough to warrant a free kick, and grabbed it strongly. He's been a good performance, Darren Smith. Excellent second quarter when he booted 3. That makes 4. And the difference now is back to 14 points.
Darren Smith and Port Adelaide leading by 14 points. Back to the centre. Good crowd in tonight. In fact, we've had record crowds this year in the Escort Cup. Manamaker's down in the centre of the ground. Boots the ball long into that pocket. Curtis leads in the race for the ball, and he ran across the line then, Stephen Curtis. The umpire wasn't sufficiently close to make a judgment about whether it was intentional. The Port bench there, I think there'd be some nerves at the moment, Daisy.
Yeah, well, I think they're pretty right at the moment, Peter. I can't see that Graham Campbell's prediction is going to come right, but you never know. The Dogs are still in it. Port Adelaide out of defence towards the centre field. Here's a chance now for Ian Anderson. Puts out a pass. A long lead on here. Getting underneath it is Bungahern in offence. High tackle. Here's a chance. Gee, Cowboy Mule has made some moves. Bungahern made the break. And the umpire has given a free kick for a high tackle. And I would agree with that from the player coming back. The umpire said play on. Line ball in goes Harvey. Swooping on it, Leslie. Beautifully run. Boyd run down. That's holding the cherry. Not given. Players battle on for it. Trevor O comes out with a footy. Now Flintoff. Back the row in the double play. Rides the tackle. Gets a kick away. Anderson can't. Neither can Geneva. A chance for Manamaker. Needs support. Gets it back here to Little. Little 45 metres out. Goes for home. It's going to be close. I think it's a goal. No touch.
Tuesday night.
I'll nail you. You only testify to what I believe is possible.
$1 million trial and suspected murder has the Quince doubting his former idol.
If Dr. Stone is willing to attest that Mr. Farrell is dead, it seems to me that reasonable men might expedite matters by agreeing to issue an immediate death certificate.
Quincy, 9:30 Tuesday on 7.
13 points the difference. The Dogs have got a free kick at half forward. It's Big Rudy again, relishing the move to centre half forward. Off goes Robertson, quiet since the first quarter. Curtis mops up at the back, bangs it towards the outer side centre wing, almost prior mark. Coming through to support was Buckley. Buckley towards centre half forward, Flintoff. Chance now for the Dogs. We're almost to full time, almost at the 21-minute mark. The Dogs trailing by 13 points. They badly need a goal here. Flintoff 45 metres out, almost in the same spot that Manamaker kicked their last goal. And he is a very fine kicker of the ball, David Flintoff. Kick number 14. Drop punt is awfully close. It's a goal. The third to Flintoff. The Dogs come tumbling back now. 11-12. Port Adelaide lead 13-7.
Very good effort by Buckley as he ran down the ground there, and they're certainly playing it right out. And Port Adelaide are still in risk at this stage because they've lost a bit of run. They've lost a bit of momentum. Central District hasn't. The Dogs could still win.
7 points the difference. Lum back knocks it over towards the half-forward line. Krieg back in defence, looking for a running player. Finds it in Flintoff, a fine game. He's lost the footy now. Anderson gets the ball now. Kicked in towards goal, but it's not one of his better kicks. and Bythene runs it to Thomas. Thomas back in defence after starting centre field, drives out long, looking for up. There is Rowe. Close to the line the ball goes, and that will go out of play, half forward left flank, with the Magpies into attack, and we're into time on to the final quarter.
Yes, we've had a minute of it, Ian, as 7 points separate the two sides. It was the Dogs by 26 points at quarter time. They're going into attack again. The ball finishes with Krieg at centre wing. Towards half forward he goes. Chance for Robertson at the back, Hocking. All beaten beautifully by Leslie, however, and Port will get out of trouble. Curtis back to Leslie, running it out of defence. Now, where can he go? Nobody making a move for him except Hutton at centre wing. He's got it, and he's unloaded by Philip Graham. Laid to rest was David Hutton, and the Dogs are going back into attack yet again. Van Dommel's long handball sets up Flintoff. Spins out of trouble, gives a chance for Swert. Swert goes in towards goal. It's going to be close. Hocking up with him is Harvey, and the ball has gone off hands and through for a point. Point only. 11-13 the Dogs, 13-7 Port. The difference is 6 points.
Now that's how you execute a bump fairly in the game of football, and unfortunately though a stretcher has been called for David Hutton. I don't think the game will be stopped. Yes, it will be. The umpire has just blown the whistle to stop the game. Interchange players ready, Borlase and Russell Johnston. We can indicate at this stage the score difference is 6 points. The Dogs trailing, but if this game finishes with the scores level, they will stop, change ends, play for 5 minutes, stop, play another 5 minutes, and the leader at the end of that exchange wins the game. The game so far, David Darcy.
Oh, it's been a magnificent game of football, probably the best we've seen in the Escort Cup to date, Peter. Central's got the jump on Port Adelaide and led them up by 26 points at quarter time. It was a great effort by the Dogs in that first quarter. They kicked 5-4 to Port Adelaide's 1-2, but that traditional Port Adelaide fighting spirit came tumbling back, and they only trailed by 7 points at half-time. Yes, David Hutton leaving the ground, Peter.
Yes, unfortunate, David, but that's how it was done, and Philip Graham just a little bit off the ground, but the umpire judged fairly. Back to the play now, and Port Adelaide run it through centre wing, grandstand side, 6 points in it. Can the Dogs get another goal? Here's a chance, Jamie Thomas. He's back in the game in the centre of the ground. Manamaker at half forward. 3 Port Adelaide players. Harvey goes for the line and takes it over. Ian Day, very close. The Dogs have got they've got a bit of run in their legs.
Have they ever? They're bounding beautifully at the moment. About 25 minutes gone. Throw in right forward pocket. Robertson against Johnson. Johnson tries to hook it back. Manamaker gets a chance. Flintoff on the right leg. Kicks right across goal. It's going to hit the woodwork or the aluminium. And of course that is out on the full, and the free kick will go to Curtis, who plays on quickly.
Curtis gets it out wide. Here's an opportunity for John Harvey. Hocking the chance now for the Dogs. Swings onto the right boot. Robertson's his target. Oh, he's got him. Robertson, 20 metres out. Make that 30, almost directly in front. And the chance now to tie the scores away. Well, we haven't seen a draw in Escort Cup matches. And Robertson the chance to tie them up. 30 metres out. Drop punt is fine. 2 goals to Robertson, and they're level. 12-13 to 13-7. Siren's gone. We're going to have extra time. Peter Marker, what a game.
Well, I trusted that assessment I gave a little while ago was correct, David. As I understand it, they change ends, play for 5 minutes, then they change again and play for another 5, and the leader at the end of that period is declared the winner. So they have to play on. I think many of the people here, Daisy, think that this is the end of the game, but it's not. They must continue. And on a sad note, then we saw David Hutton as he was being carried off.
I've got the impression the umpires possibly think it's the end of the game. Umpire Stephen Semler is just going in to seek clarification of what goes on. He's been told he's got to go back on again. As Peter said, 5 minutes either way, and he's going to take them off.
Well, I don't think he can, Ian. I think he'll find, and we may have an announcement from a league official in a minute. No, he's going off.
He's going off, Peter, but what a brilliant game while they sort themselves out. You know, at quarter time it looked as though the Dogs were going to do this as a cakewalk, but Port Adelaide fought back brilliantly, and it looked as though that Port Adelaide was going to win just as easily
Russell Ebert has indicated, in my view, that his players shouldn't go off the ground. His view is that they should stay on because this game has got to be played out until they get a winner.
Well, this is incredible, Peter. It's an utter farce. I mean, I believe that what you said was right, that we have the extra time, 5 minutes either end. Now, why the umpires have gone off, they've whistled full time. We've still got the boundary umpires out there, and the players are as mystified as you and I.
I tell you what, though, Ian, they're not going off. There's no way known they're going off. There's $125,000 up for grabs in this competition. $40,000 to the winner on that grand final on April 29. The players are not going off, and I think, Ian, we'll find that the umpires will be back in just a little while.
Well, it's going to be pretty difficult to start the game without them, Peter, and they're going to have to get some umpires from somewhere. I'm certainly not volunteering with all the rubbish that umpires get thrown at, but maybe we'll just take the opportunity to go through the goal kickers. For Port Adelaide, Smith has got 4, O'Brien 3, Harrison 2, and 1 each to Greg Phillips, David Hines, David Brown and Greg Anderson. The leading goal kickers for the Dogs were both David Flintoff and Mandamaker with 3. Robertson got 2, and 1 each to Peter, Greg, Hocking, McGrath and Thomas. And
umpires back on the ground, Ian. They're in a huddle, and in fact umpire John Hilton.
We've got new umpires, Peter.
Now I wonder if they're coming out for the next game, because if they are, we've certainly got a farce. No, they're coming out for the next game, Ian, and
well, that tends to make the game over, Peter.
I still don't think it is. I am sure that this game is not over.
But Peter, this is incredible. I mean, the league officials have had time to go down there and tell both teams what's going on.
Well, Russell Ebert is not moving. Russell Ebert knows what's going on. I can tell you what, if any man knows what's going on in a game of football, he does.
I agree, Peter, and the Dogs are not going off the ground either. But this is unbelievable.
Yes, back on they go, Ian. The game is not yet over. You'll find that there's another 10 minutes, 5 minutes either way. So this game will continue until we get a result.
Well, Peter, are we going to use the old umpires or the new umpires? I would think that John Hilton, yes, he's going to go off. What a pantomime. This is better than the game.
Off come the new umpires, and you'll find that umpires Semler and Abbott will return to the arena.
Hang on, Cowboys called his players off. Now that's going to be interesting. Port Adelaide are going to play by themselves.
No, Chris Grant is the man pulling them off. He's down, but oh, now we've got 3 sides on the ground. I can't believe this. Chris Grant has just called his players off. Ian, irrespective of what's going on now, my view is that very soon we're going to have Port Adelaide and Central District back on this ground to find out who's going to be the winner.
Well, Peter, Chris Grant is the manager of the Central Districts. He ought to know what's going on now. Because if the Dogs haven't gone off, they're disobeying his instruction.
Well, I can tell you what, the umpires for the second match, who just left the ground, have returned to it again. The scoreboard a little while ago showed West Torrens and West Adelaide.
Peter, Port Adelaide are coming off.
Well, I find this difficult to believe, Daisy. I really do.
Well, you know, seeing is believing, Peter, and I would think the players can't believe it either. And off they come again. David Darcy, have you got any more information for us?
You there, David?
Yes, Lee Wicker has just indicated to the umpires that it is only in the grand final that 5 minutes will be played each way, that the minor round games, if there is a draw, then the draw stands. So only grand final should extra time be played.
Thanks for that, David. Well, we finally got a clarification. We'll take a break now, having a declaration that the game between Central District and Port Adelaide was a draw.